Oh, we got Miss Kay Donaldson from Alabama Bass Trail. Hey, Miss Kay, welcome to Listen to the Eagle.
Well, thank you so much. I'm glad to be a part, and I think they were having a hard time getting through to me. I'm traveling to Montgomery right now, but I'm so glad to be on the show. Thanks for asking.
Kay, we can't thank you enough for being on Listen to the Eagle. And wow, Alabama Bass Trail announces their new 2016 tournament schedule. Before we talk about this year's tournament, can you kind of frame what's been going on like last year and how this thing is just growing and how it's impacting our state?
Oh, man. When we announced the Alabama Bass Trail Tournament Series in September of 2013, we thought we had a great idea, and we thought we had a good platform for amateur anglers throughout the state of Alabama and actually the Southeast. And
Right.
We were blown away by the participation in 2014. Our North Division actually sold out in the first 72 days, which everybody thought would never happen. And then in the South, we averaged around 165 boats in the South. So we just had a phenomenal turnout in 2014 and gave away a lot of prize money, a little under $400,000, over $400,000.
Oh, my.
And and then we started the 2015 schedule, and it seemed that everyone was pretty excited about that schedule, and we actually grew participation this year. We have 206 boats in our North Division, and we have 162 teams that signed up in the South Division this year, but the difference this year is that they can't just fish one tournament. They've got to sign up for all of them. So in 2014, we only had 112 teams sign up to fish all of the South. This year we had 162 teams sign up to fish the entire South. So that was amazing growth for us. So looking forward to what 2016 has. This tournament series last year, based on our economic impact studies that we do for each community that we visit, we base that off of angler surveys that we do at the pre-tournament meetings. Each angler fills out a survey and lets us know what he spends
Right.
in the local community. And so based on the surveys last year through our championship, we were roughly a $2.1 million economic impact to our state. And that was phenomenal for a first-year tournament series. And we felt very good about those numbers. We actually felt they were a little conservative. I don't think a lot of our guys consider their pre-fishing time. A lot of these guys go a couple weekends in advance and fish, and I don't really expect you to took those numbers into account substantial.
Maybe losing you, Kay. We're talking with Kay Donaldson, the program director of the Alabama Bass Trail tournament schedule. Hey, Kay, are you still with us?
I am. I'm
There you
going
go.
through Coleman, so I may just be just a little bit before I get back a strong signal.
Well, Kay, real quick, let's talk about these different individual areas and how it impacts our state. Now, I understand you get to showcase a lot of our beautiful and awesome lakes right here in the state. Can you talk about the North region and what lakes those are, and then let's focus on the South and just kind of share with our listeners what we're highlighting here for our great state?
Okay. The North Division is made up of this year 5 lakes, and those we started off in Gunnersville, and of course Gunnersville spans 2 counties. It has Marshall County and Jackson County, which is awesome fishery. Absolutely, probably the crowning jewel for Alabama as far as bass fishing goes.
Mm-hmm.
The largest lake in the state of Alabama, and by far hosts the most tournaments than any other lake in the state. And then we traveled and went to Neely Henry, and we were there in March. And Neely Henry being a Coosa River, spotted bass lake primarily.
Right.
It's great to be able to feature our lake largemouth fishing on Gunnersville, Coosa spotted bass on the Coosa chain down at Neely Henry. And then we went to Smith Lake. And if anyone has ever been to the state of Alabama, they know that fishing Smith Lake is different from almost any other body of water. It's almost it and Martin are a lot alike in the fact that they're a deep, clear lake, a lot of stripers, a lot of fun. That lake has really, I think the Conservation Department has a slot limit of 13 to 15-inch slot limit that has just made that lake just a phenomenal fishery.
That is so awesome.
And then we just went to Pell City and visited Logan Martin. Again, it's traditionally a spotted bass lake,
right.
But a mixed bag of 4 spots. If one largemouth did win that tournament this past weekend with just over, I think it was just under 19 pounds. And, I mean, we had several 18, 17-pound bags of fish, so it really produced. There was a lot of traffic on the lake. And we'll finish up this year at Pickwick, and I don't know that there's a better smallmouth fishery in the southeast portion of the United States than Pickwick Lake. That is a beautiful fishery. We have a great boat ramp there in Florence. We're going to have a lot of good anglers. That's our Angler of the Year tournament this year, so that we'll be deciding who our northern anglers are that are going to compete in the Angler of the Year race. And so looking forward to going to Pickwick and Florence being our host city. So that's going to be an awesome tournament.
Again, we're visiting with Kay Donaldson, the program director of Alabama Bass Trail. Kay, this is unbelievable, and it's awesome how this thing is growing, not only for our state, because many of these participants, as I understand, are from out of state, so it's bringing all kinds of economics into our state that we wouldn't have. Is that not correct?
It would. We have 6 states represented in our north and our south, and,
Wow.
I want to tell you a little bit about the South Lakes, too, because I think that a lot of people really concentrate in North Alabama and along the Tennessee Reservoir for fishing, but the southern lakes have produced. Matter of fact, at Lake Gunnersville or Lake Eufaula, we've had a 29-pound bag of fish weight. That's our heaviest weight to date.
Wow.
It was just over 29 pounds. I think second place they beat them by 4 pounds, 25 pounds of fish. That's where that was our second tournament this year. Lake Jordan, we had it in February and had a phenomenal tournament down there. 23 pounds won down there. Just a fantastic fishery. And Miller Sperry in Camden, you talk about economics and what it means to the state of Alabama. You bring an additional 340 people to the city of Camden. It almost doubles their population.
Yes, ma'am.
And the amount of money that's spent in gas and food and basically gas and food and hotels is phenomenal for that community. As a matter of fact, the only new thing that the city of Camden did this year was Alabama Bass Trail, and their lodging tax was up 10.8%.
Oh, wow.
So they almost had a 14-point swing because they were down like 2.6% the year before, so almost a 14-point swing in lodging tax collections in 1 year. So that was phenomenal for that community. And, being able to showcase our state to 6 other states. I mean, we have people from as far away as Ohio and South Carolina that are fishing with us this year. A great number from Florida and Georgia and Mississippi.
Yes, and
they
all travel back and talk about how awesome the scenery and the lakes and the fishing are in this state of Alabama. Let me ask you this. If you're not a part of the tournament, if you're not an angler, are there festivities, and is it good for the general public to come out and be a part of this?
Well, I certainly think it is. I mean, we don't offer the carnival-type atmosphere that Bass would. Of course, we're not quite as large as Bassmasters, but we do have a very lively, entertaining MC. Our anglers are there, and you can see all the fish. We have a release tank that we hold the fish in so kids can kind of see how we care for the fish. But, yeah, I mean, and I certainly think it's important for outdoorsmen to get out and see what their state's involved in. I mean, this was an idea of Dr. Robert Bentley, and the governor's been extremely supportive, and influential with his office and supporting the Alabama Bass Trail. It was his idea, and I've just been the lucky one to get to carry the torch for him. But this has been a great economic stimulus to our state. There's other states that want to model after us. Louisiana wants to open a bass trail. We've heard from South Carolina as far as north as Virginia. Georgia has shown some interest. So, Alabama's just blessed geographically, and we have the natural God-given resources to utilize. And that's been the fun thing about the Bass Trail is we haven't had to go and build a brick-and-mortar building to make this an attraction. We just have to utilize what God's given us already, and
that's right.
And to make that be an economic driver for our state.
Well, it's right here in the beautiful, great state of Alabama. Again, Kay Donaldson, Program Director of the Alabama Bass Trail, thank you for visiting with us and helping our listeners understand a little bit more about the Bass Trail across the great state of Alabama, and thank you for being a part of Listen to the Eagle.
Thank you so much. I look forward to being back on with you anytime you guys will have me.
Great. We look for results and want to post them, so just kind of send us some information along the way. Again, thank you for being a part of the show. Y'all don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with